Hello the 31st here, how's it going? Oi oi bruv, what's up? For those of you who don't know, Generation 8 has been announced and will be taking place in a UK based region called the Galar region. Now, as a UK citizen and someone who's got, some background information on some things about the UK, I felt like I should basically throw my hat in the ring and talk about the things that other people have missed in their breakdowns of the trailer and the map. So this is not a full analysis, let's be honest, there's dozens of videos out there doing that, so I've watched most of them, and I've seen what things people have basically missed, so anything multiple people have talked about I haven't mentioned in this video. There'll be links below if you want to go watch that. We'll start off with the name, so the Galar region, or Galar region. This could be a hint at, say, maybe a festival. A gala is a kind of, a festival or show, or it could relate to Gaelic culture, as in culture heavily associated with Scotland and Ireland, and Celtic culture, and means, the region could incorporate some of the myths and legends from that kind of history. If we have a look at the map, you'll notice there's a heavy emphasis on trains as well. There's lots of trains scattered around the region, and it's likely that's how you're going to end up doing a lot of traveling, just basically taking train rides from one bit of the country to the next. This could be an important factor, as England and France are incredibly close together and are linked by a train. The Eurostar is a train that travels underneath the sea, crossing the channel between England and France, and this could be incorporated in some way into the games. If you remember back in Kalos, there's a train station in a place called Koraway Town. The slogan of that town is connecting differences, and it could be that that is where you get the train to, and Kalos is featured in the game in some way. England and France have had, shall we say, a strong rivalry for many years, going back thousands of years, many different wars between the two countries. Think like the 100 Years' War, the Norman invasion of 1066 by William the Conqueror. There's a lot of history between the two countries, and it may be that is featured in the games, and could go back to Kalos and Galar having a war many years ago, and now they've sort of gotten over that. They're connecting their differences, that kind of thing. Twintendo did a very good video where he flipped the map and basically went through and found which different cities in the UK each different city on the map is based off of. So I highly recommend you go watch that. But one thing I noticed when looking at the map that no one else seems to have noticed is this bit. Now this requires some prior knowledge of, again, Gaelic culture, or I suppose, like me, you could have read Asterix as a child. But these stone structures here are known as Dolmen and Menhir. Now you'll find these scattered around all the different Gaelic areas such as Ireland, Scotland, and the north of France. Again, that connection to France. And they're man-made stone structures. So the Dolmen, this one here that kind of looks like a big rock table, is said to be a burial ground or tomb. And as the legends go, a Dolmen marks the resting place of a giant. Now, why is that important? Well, as many people have pointed out, on the map is this thing, and this heavily resembles the Cern Abbas giant, and according to the legends, this chalk outline marks the final resting place of an invading Nordic giant, who is killed by the local villagers in his sleep. How I think this all relates is that possibly this is to do with the legendary Pokemon. So an ancient legendary Pokemon may have been defeated on the hill where the Cern Abbas giant-like drawing is, and was then buried where the Dolmen stands. These stones here are known as Menhir, and again, these were believed to have been made by giants by the medieval people of England, as they couldn't imagine how a human could make and move such a stone. The Menhir are said to have some kind of religious significance, and are said to mark the ritual grounds of ancient people. So how I'm thinking this all relates is that this could be, again, like I said, the resting place of an ancient legendary Pokemon, but also the ritual ground of where you can resurrect it. There are plenty of stones with ancient markings and carvings on them throughout the region that could possibly hold the secrets to the Pokemon's resurrection, and the evil team goes around trying to translate them to work out how to do it. Also, it really establishes that there's going to be a heavy emphasis on the Irish and the Scottish and potentially French culture through these elements of Gaelic culture that are scattered around the map. Now, the map really does seem to incorporate every element of British history. Right from the ancient, like I said, the Gaelic culture, some elements of medieval history, the Industrial Revolution, and of course the modern day. Now, the element that's focused the least on is that medieval time. Think of the knights of old, King Arthur, that kind of stuff. But to me, the two logos kind of look like coats of arms. So what I'm thinking is they each represent two opposing kingdoms, possibly each wielding a different legendary Pokemon. These two rival houses would have been at war with each other in the past. Maybe this could be to do with the War of the Roses, clashes, a civil war, or maybe even just like a Romeo and Juliet style thing. One of these kingdoms would have wielded an ultimate weapon, an Excalibur Pokemon potentially, and the other an ultimate shield. And possibly the evil team is like an ancestor of one of these ancient kingdoms that potentially lost the war and is looking for revenge by resurrecting that ancient legendary buried underneath the Dolmen. All the major cities do look like they're surrounded by a big wall and kind of do look like castles. So again, maybe hinting towards another warring kingdoms kind of thing. There are 4 different flags you can see flying in this screenshot from the trailer. These could all represent 4 different kingdoms or 4 different houses, all united by one king. Again, think King Arthur, who supposedly united all the different kingdoms of England into one. Maybe killing the giant and obliterating that 6th kingdom altogether. The ancestor of that person goes on to become the champion, and the ancestor of the 4 minor kingdoms united under that one become his Elite 4 members. My alternative theory for these flags is they're either sports teams, as sports does seem to play a big role in this region, think of all the different stadiums, stuff like that, or the 2 logos could be the badges of 2 different rival schools. If you have a look at this schoolgirl and this boy here, their school uniform is emblazoned with a crest on it that does kind of look like it could be a shield, and we can't see the top, whether it has a wolf or not. But yeah, that's basically it. Those are the things that I noticed that no one else seems to have picked up on, and a couple of theories I have for the region itself. If you have any questions or you have any theories of your own, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And yeah, I look forward to basically finding out what you guys think and seeing more of what this region has to offer. With all that said, basic stuff, you know, like, comment, subscribe. See you later. Bye, Whipper out.